Good morning, everybody. How you folks doing today? It's Thursday, right? Happy Thursday? Think so. Hopefully you got your coffee. Got my cup here. All right. So, a couple things today. Not too much, actually. Just the last little bit of work here in Java FX that we're going to be doing. And then we can move on to a couple last interesting topics: databases, lambda expressions, and multi-threading. And we'll get to the final project coming up as well. We'll do a project on databases here as well. It should be a lot of fun. Next week we'll get started on that one. And then have a little bit of extra chat on annotations and design patterns. Week 14, and then week 15 and the first part of week 16 just set aside for you folks to work on that final project, where I can bounce around and we can do screen sharing or whatever we need to do. So it should be a lot of fun. This one's, the final project is much more interesting if you do it with a partner. But, you know, we're still kind of in the middle of a global pandemic and things are weird. So if you don't want to do it, that's okay. But I think you'll end up a better product and a better experience having worked with somebody in pairs. So I would strongly recommend it here. And I can set something up here in D2L so you folks can organize that if that's how you want to go about it. We can kind of go from there. So let's take a peek. So we've got our project 2 that we're working on coming up. I got almost all the project 0s. We'll be working on your project 1s and the midterms coming up. And the labs are, those should be pretty quick once we get started on those. But why don't they get the big things out of the way? So we've got till the 29th here for project 2, because we started that one a little bit late. Let's see, where's the, that calendar view? It shows everything, doesn't it? That's fine. Was that a week? And then, is that 2 weeks from Tuesday? Is that what that was? The 15th? Yeah, so 2 weeks from Tuesday. So we got a little bit of time on that. We should be in pretty good shape. Right. Thoughts, questions, concerns before we get started? Did anyone get a chance to play with IntelliJ or still use NetBeans? I mean, both will definitely work. Not too bad one way or the other. Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, it'll definitely get the job done. Just getting it set up takes those couple extra steps, right? Adding the library reference and then typing everything in a little bit by hand here. Let's see. All right. Oh, this was from the other class. We close that one down, or we'll start up a new project here. I think we've got our recent one. Let's see. Do we have our FX project? Yeah, more FX here. You've set it up 5 times. Oh no. Well, you must be getting pretty quick at it then, right, Mike? If you've done it enough. That's all it takes. I mean, it's not the worst process in the world. It's just a couple steps, so for sure. All right. Let's do it in a new window here. Nice. So you just got it in your head and it's done. I like it. All right, so again, we want to focus on this initialize method here is what we're going to need if you want to start adding references to other things, right? So we can create our instances of other classes here. So when we're building out our game, you'd make your player class here in the initialize method to get it all set up. And then you can go set up all your buttons, right? You can turn buttons on and off, those sort of ways, disable, enable. And also make things visible or not visible, which is kind of fun. I think disable's a little easier, just because it's weird when buttons like show up and don't show up at all. But there's a, is it set visible? Let's see, what's the property? Dot visible. Yeah, okay, so set visible, yep. We'll figure out whether or not it should be viewable there or not. Okay, so those ones are kind of fun. But let's go back to what do we want to do here? Our Fxml. So let's open this one up here in Scene Builder. And then we're going to go grab an image real quick. So let's go find a Ace of Spades. We'll find an Ace of Spades image. That one looks like fun. Probably steal this one, right? So we'll save this one. Maybe subject to copyright. Okay, that's fine. We should be okay because we're not actually going to sell this anywhere. It might be better to grab one without copyright, but we'll be okay for right now. Ace of Spades. All right, cool. So then what we want to do, let's go in our controls here. Pull this down a little bit. We're going to find an image view. So an image view is used to view images. Grab our image view here. Maybe we'll put it over on this side. And then I need to resize it a little bit here. Probably about there. Again, it doesn't need to be necessarily exact here, but we'll work on that. And then we need to give it an ID. So this will be our card image view. Now we need to give it a specific image. Now this is the weird part here. So in IntelliJ here, we want to go and have a place where we can keep all of our images. So generally, like this resources folder is a pretty common one, or just make a folder inside of your project here, so we can reference images. So I actually want to open this one up. Open in Explorer here. We'll actually open the folder, or you can just go browse to it here in your File Explorer. See if we can go find this folder. Okay. Oh, here's my folders on the other screen, sorry. There we go. So I need to go find my image then. My Ace of Spades. I'm going to put it inside of my folder here. So we've got this source, and then we had resources. So I'm going to drop it in resources. Example, oh boy. Let's see if we can find it here. So my Ace of Spades. So for the image then, I'm going to tell it, hey, I want to use the Ace of Spades. So it's looking in that resources folder already. So it gives it this cool @Ace of Spades here. So there's a couple options here. There's the relative path or an absolute path. The absolute path is not what you're going to want to do, because an absolute path means here's the C drive, here's the folders and things. So if I write the program, it's only going to work if the files exist in that location in C, users, Eric, documents, GitHub, that sort of thing. So the document relative path is, you say, where does it live relative to my document, to my Fxml document here. Class path can also work. So like, where is it getting packaged up inside of the class? But if we put it side by side with our Fxml document, it'll just be right there. It should work out pretty nice for you here. So let's give that a run here. See if we can make that show up. There we go. So now we get our little image showing up here, which is fun. So we can add in particular images, or we could do things with our buttons to like make the images show up or not show up, which is kind of cool. So if we wanted to like change some of the images as well, we need to go and update our controller here. Give that a show our controller skeleton. Get our image card view here. There we go. So linking, there we go. Yep, so you can like link right into our little card view. So it's saying, hey, this is the image. Here's this at a of spades. So this is the file name for it here. So if we want to go grab some other cards, so let's go find how about the Ace of Hearts. Do you see one that's like the same? I don't see one that's like the same as what we had. It's kind of a bummer. That's a weird, I've never seen one like that. Let's see. Some of these are cool. Just pick a boring one. We can just pick a boring one. That was kind of fun. Let's try this one. So this is our Ace of Hearts. And I just put it on my desktop to make life easy. I'm going to go move that in to our folder here. So now we have an Ace of Hearts. Okay, so let's go add a button here. Should I add a button? Let's do that. And then, what do we call this one? I don't know. Change card. Give it a on action. Right, so this will be a change card. Our button clicked. Give that a save. We'll take a peek at our controller skeleton. So we never added a button, so we don't have the Fxml button object here, but we have the method that we're going to need here to grab. So go grab our button here, or our method here. Probably not about initialize. How about that one more? It wants us to add the import here. That's why it's upset. Come on. More options, import the class. Sweet, okay. So then when we change the button here, so this one gets to be a little bit tricky. So we can take our image view, and we've got some options for changing our image view. So set image is probably our best bet for this one, right? But then making the image, right, we need to figure out where this image is coming from. So it's going to be, we need a new image, and we got to add our import for image. Let's see what we get in our constructor here. Get a new image. There we go. Okay, so our location's here. So I think we do it as a string. I think we can just tell it this at. That'd be ace of hearts.jpg. I think we can do that one. So it'll change it once. But we're not really changing it back, right? So if we wanted to like flip between one or the other or one or the other, we should really see what the image is, right? So we can get the image. When we get the image out, we'll give us an image property here, and then we want to get the URL off of it. Right? That should tell us what the URL is. Remember when we created that, if we looked at this Fxml, it says, hey, the image URL is at ace of spades. We can see which one it is here and see if we can't change those around. So how about if our get URL equals ignoring case, the ace of spades PNG, right? Then we should change it to the ace of hearts. Otherwise, we should set it to the ace of spades again. So if it is the ace of spades, we'll change it to the ace of hearts. If it's not the ace of spades, then we'll change it to the ace of spades. And again, we could add in some other options and other things here. Let's see if this one works for us. Uh-oh, nope, I broke it. Yeah, invalid resource. Okay, so we messed up something up that image here. Image validate URL. Let's see. I'll just Google it real quick. So Java FX. Set image URL. Let's see what we get here. Irish coffee? No, not Irish. All right, let's see. Yeah, new. What, you?
I thought you were selling your car.
It's pretty. I'm in the middle of class. Do you need something?
Yes, can I make French toast?
No. No French toast for now. Thank you. She learned how to cook French toast, and she's very excited to make French toast all the time. Will you close my door, please, Jubilee? Thank you. All right, so let's see. What are they suggesting we do? All those are not answers, right? Need to initialize. Image is new image. Getting resource stream. Okay, sure. File. Okay. That's outside the jar. Now we want to do inside the jar. Let me go. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Can we just do? Is it just ace of spades? We might not do the at. One of these methods. Yeah. Oh yes. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't have any green on. Is that why it's supposed to be Irish coffee? I gotcha. I'm so out of it right now. So would the URL just be regular ace of spades? Here, we can put a breakpoint in. That's what we should do here. Let's do that. Let's use our debugger. We have the power, right? Stop. Okay, so let's have our String for URL. Does that give me a full URL? What does that one do? Yeah, string. Okay. String for URL is the get URL. And then we'll compare that and see what we get here. So I'll put a breakpoint. Run it in debug mode. I don't even know if I own anything green. I'm not usually a big green person. I have lots of blues and blacks. Might have a tie with green on it. I don't know if I want to wear a tie though. That doesn't sound like fun. I haven't had to wear a tie in, I don't even remember the last time I had to wear a tie. All right, here we go. So we're going to debug. So our URL then, it did give us the full path. That's interesting. If it's a hat, camo hat. Huh? I don't think I have a green hat either. I don't think there's any green on Mickey Mouse. Oh, there is a tiny bit of green here on Brave Little Jailer Mickey. Check that out. Okay, so I'm saved by my hat. So there's a little bit of green on him here. A little decorative green. Not quite as cool as Steamboat Willie in black and white. Or the modern today Mickey. Although I think we're today, he's a little different than this again now. But that's okay. So you notice one of the funny things about Mickey, he just has the pants here. There's some funny joke. It was Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh are going along somewhere and they find an outfit and they decide they should share it. Winnie the Pooh gets the shirt and Mickey Mouse gets the pants. Weirdly, they only want one or the other. All right, let's see. So if we could do it without the at then. So the URL is not going to equal that for sure because this is a full path. So not great here. See if we can't set it. No, we don't want the decompiler. We don't want that. Okay, so we're just going to crash. Bummer. Bummer. All right, let's see. Let's see how we did before then. I'm going to cheat, folks. It's been a while since we've done this. Let's see if I did this image view. I think it's image view, right? I did the image view. I think it was this one, right? I did. It would set it up for us. Huh. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Huh. So maybe I just need to give it the full relative path. Is that it? Let's double check that. So that would be sources, example, more JavaFX, Ace of Spades, PNG, resources, it ends with, what ends with? Ace of Spades. Let's try this one here. See if that's the trick here. All right, set image. Yeah, okay. That looks like it was going to do it then. Let's try that. Let's try it. Maybe this one will do the trick for us. So this will be the full relative path here. So that's just all the folders that it's inside of, right? So it's inside of resources, com, example, more JavaFX. Don't think we need this main folder. So I think we run from inside of main. We'll find out. that whole path here. Let's see. Because it's running it. So the class path. Whew, all sorts of those ones here. Yeah, it's running com example more Java FX. I think maybe that'll work. No, it's not crashing, but it's not changing it, right? So if it ends with ace of spades, it's not crashing anymore, but it's not changing it. So okay, let's go back to debug mode, figure out what we did wrong here. We're getting there. We're getting there, folks. Gotta be familiar with that debugger and Googling. Those are the best skills you can learn. All right, we in debug mode now? Yes, connected to the debugger. Go change our card. I'm gonna plug my watch in here. See what we get. Okay. So then our URL, right, ends with ace of spades. Okay. So if it ends with ace of spades, we should be changing it to ace of hearts. Let's see if that steps. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we got to the set image. Cool. So it should be setting it to the ace of hearts. Are we actually crashing? Is that what's happening? It's about. Oh, we did crash. We did. Okay. Couldn't find it. Hey, Empty Skull. You'd have to compare them to see which one's larger if you want to find the larger number. Okay, still crashing. That's unfortunate. Let's do this. Let's see. That's the whole URL. See, I don't want to give it the full path. I shouldn't need to give it the full path. Should just be the relative path. Let's try one more here. Make a. Well, we had the URL was the full one. Oh, thanks for following along. Let's see. Do we need that main folder? Maybe we need the main folder. Main. Let's see what we can get here. We'll find the right path here. Let's see. Invalid URL. Give it source. One of these ways we'll get to it here. Let's see. Come on, images. We gotta get this working so we can get to the actual fun stuff. We can do some pretty cool things. Nope. Still failing. All right. Let's see, we looked at some of these. They should have worked. We didn't want the whole image view. We just wanted the image, right? Wonder if we can try this, get resources as stream. Yeah. Let's try that. Get class.get resources stream. Class dot get resource as stream. I didn't have to do that before though, so I'm confused. Wonder if it's just cranky with me. Let's give it a try. Yep, definitely need an if block there. Hi. So unhappy with me. We'll get the right syntax here in a second. Nope. Still not failing. Why is that so unhappy here? I wonder if we can get rid of that. Oh, I never had the, there's the resources folder. One more try. I don't want to give up yet. So I feel like we can get this. Let's see. So all I had to do is give it the name before. That's why I'm so confused. You know what? Let me do this. Let me see. Can I change this to relative path? Is that going to be happier with me then? And then pick the image. Nope. I want it as the relative path. Relative class path. So I want it to fill that in for me. It's not doing it. That's annoying. Ace of spades. Okay, that's fine. It's unhappy with me. Yeah, should just give it. What a bummer. What a bummer. Hey, Pratik. It's an official college course. You got to check out the website oaklandcc.edu. But we're mid semester, so you can I think enrollment's open for summer. Where's our image? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why it's so unhappy with me. It worked so well last time. Worked so well. It's technically called the winter semester. We have fall, winter, and summer. I don't know why people call them spring semesters. Yes, inside a source. So it should just be inside the source folder there. Okay, so path should be from inside of source. So inside of source, then we had what we have. We have main resources. Example, more Java FX. Okay, we'll try that. We'll try one more time here. So we want inside of source was our main folder here. Is it because I was using forward slash instead of backslash? I'm going to cry if that was it. That would be really funny. It was all because of the slashes. Let's see. Let's see what it thinks. Double backslash. to escape all these backslashes. That can't be it, right? That can't be it. So I used a / before. No, like I had used that image. I'd used a / before on this one, and I think it worked. We'll try it. We'll try it in Z-Crow. I'm glad you believe in me. And it definitely worked last time. That's that's all I have to say, right? Let's try it again. Nope. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Is it? Yeah, A of hearts.jpg. Thanks, Empty Skull. It's not packaging them right, I think. Maybe that's it. That's so sad. It just worked last time. So sad. Hmm. Super weird. I don't think we did anything special either. That's such a bummer. I just found just some images I found online. With the dot path could be. Let's see, what's the path here? My Fxml. Oh, I did use the dots. That's interesting. That was for setting up the image the first time, though. Yeah, this is a relative path. Okay. Let's try. But it worked right for the images. Let's make a folder right in here. Why not? We'll make a new folder. Call it images. See if we can't put it in here. Images. We've got to find a solution. We'll find it. Yeah, I thought like it would work here in our resources folder, but nope. Oh, broken. So broken. Invalid URL. Resource not found. Just want to change the image here. Hmm. We didn't Google enough. Image, load image from URL. Maybe this will be it. Oh, we don't want an actual URL, no. Don't want that. Seems like the right question here. How do I set an image using JavaFX? Can't find it. Find resources here. They're not in your jars. Ah. Maybe we're messing it up here with our Maven stuff. I do have this POM file. This is different. Hey, thanks for following along. Yeah, I thought it just said file, the image.png. That's what we had there. So let's make sure that we're loading up our resources properly here, right? It is not doing anything with resources. Interesting. So it must not actually be bundling our files here, right? So it's not making it into the jar, I think. Well, that's annoying. Source main resources, yeah. We don't have resources? I don't think we do. Let's see if we can find that in here. Resources. Interesting. That seems really annoying to have to try and build all that out, right? It looks like it's already set as something here. Yeah, the resources. Right. Maybe the problem's IntelliJ, and it might work in NetBeans. Hey, fighters. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you here. We're having fun trying to figure out why our code's not working. And I'm trying not to bang my head against the wall. But that's okay. This is real life, my friends. Wonder if we can copy this in. What's the worst that could happen, right? Don't need that one. I just need source main resources. Source main resources. See if that does anything for us. Let's take a peek here. Nope. Invalid. Hey, Approach. Glad to see you here. Let's see. I don't know what it's doing. Very confused. Okay, so it is adding them to our target here, so that's good. We kind of put them all there. I feel like it should just do Ace of Hearts, Ace of Spades. Let's try that. because we get the files loaded into our target location here. So when it runs, it should just see them here. Is the idea. Let's see what we get. Clear the IntelliJ cache. Yeah, that might be it. No. Can't find any of this stuff. Generated sources. Yeah, we don't need any of those. I'm very sad, folks. This should have just worked really nice. No, we're just we're playing around with Java FX, trying to have some fun here. So, all right, well, we'll forget changing images for now. I'll come back to that. I'll fix it for you after the fact. But we're going to do some more interesting things. So, some more interesting things then. Let's add some sliders. Sliders are really fun. And let's put just a couple over here. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll have 4 different sliders here. Our UI is really ugly. Don't worry too much about it here. We'll figure this out. So I need to give these names here then. So this is my, yeah, I can commit it to GitHub, Crow, if you do !GitHub, for sure. I'll commit in progress. So it's in the CIS 2151 Winter 2022 repo. I'm always glad to have you along, my friend. 2151. It'll just take some more Googling, I'm sure. But I got it working in NetBeans, so I know I can make it work. I don't know what I have to do. Oh yeah, we'll take out that line we added, because shouldn't need to mess with that. I'm hoping. Here's in progress. Oh, I'm committing their images. Oops. That's kind of a bummer. New grad, higher life, yeah. Oh, database design is really fun. Yeah, databases are really cool. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna add some sliders. We gotta give them some names. So this will be my R slider. And then we'll make our G slider. And this is our B slider. And this is our A slider. Okay, my names are terrible. I'm feeling bad. Okay, let's make this alpha slider. This will be the green slider, or blue slider. Oh, we don't need 2 B's there. Blue slider. Green slider. Oh, that sounds really interesting, Jason. And a red slider. Oops, too many extra letters. Red slider. Okay. So then we go take a look at our code, or our controller skeleton, make sure we can grab all those sliders. Oh, come on, I misspelled blue again. Red, green. I thought I fixed that. Blue. Blue slider. Alpha slider, okay. We'll view these ones here. So we need the alpha slider, the blue slider. Oh, they're in alphabetical order, aren't they? That's fine. We'll go paste them in. And then we'll find the green slider. Really should probably add that add-on so we can do this automatically. Yes, yes. Please add the import. And so alpha, green. Oh, we need the red slider. That's what we need next. I really misspelled red slider too? I did. Red. How do I have so many double letters here, friends? Red slider. We'll view our controller skeleton. There we go. Now we have a red slider. Okay, so what we want to do here, which is super fun. Oh, come on. My laptop is almost dead here. I'm so sad. The Windows key doesn't click on it anymore half the time. I don't know why. I've really just got to go get that new one. All right, so one of the really interesting things we have with our properties here, these sliders have this idea that we can set up listeners. So we want to, let's go, we want to update, what is it here? Where's our, what are we doing here? So we can make this object called a color adjuster, which is super fun. So this is a color adjuster. So we need an attribute for it. So it's a type of color adjuster. So this is a color adjust. And you can throw one of these onto an image. Let's import the class for it. So this is in our JavaFX scene. So you can adjust colors here. So in our initializer, then we'll set it up here. So we'll make our color adjust. There's a new color adjuster. Then what we want to do is we want to start taking these sliders that we have, and we're going to bind them to our color adjuster. So as they're changing, what's going to happen is it's going to trigger an event to happen, which is super cool. So we need a method that we're going to call here. So we're going to add another method. So private void, how about apply color adjust here. And we can throw this one on, where is it here? There we go. Yep, so we'll apply our color adjuster as a method. So we can set all these properties of our color adjuster. So we're going to take our color adjuster and we're going to say we want to set the, oh, it's contrast. Okay, that's right, it's not set. That's right, this isn't the red, green, blue. These are the hue. We'll have a hue slider, a contrast slider. That's what I wanted to do. Not the red, green, blues, sorry. This will be our hue slider. Hue slider. We can do the red, green, blues later. Let's do these ones first. A contrast slider, a brightness slider, and a saturation slider. All right, I gotta go change all those now. It's kind of a bummer. The brightness slider. Here, you know what? Let me just grab all of these here. We'll just take out all the duplicates when we get there. So anything with that @fxml tag, I can just replace. Okay. So we're going to set the hue to the hue slider dot get value. So we can get the current value of the slider out, and we'll use that to set the hue here. So now these values, we do need to change here as well. So these will have a min of 0 and a max of 255 here. And then we want to make sure they are snapping to ticks here with a minor tick of 1. Because we want them to be whole values here. 255, 255, snapping to ticks of 1. I think ought to do it for us here. So this idea, we want it to slide from 0 to 255. 1. We can change these values. 55, 1, and snap. 1. Okay. So when we call our function here, oh, that's the wrong one, sorry. This one. We'll set the hue, so we'll do our color adjust, and we'll set the contrast. So our contrast slider, get value. We'll take our brightness, set it to the brightness slider, get value, and we'll take our saturation, set saturation to the saturation slider, get value. Okay, so that's all the function does. So now we need to know when to call this. So this one we want to call right when the values change. So when we're initializing this, we're going to go in and set these up here. So our hue slider has this value property. The value property means, okay, when the value of the hue slider changes, what do we want to do? So we're going to say we want to add a listener here. And what do we do for the listener? So we get some crazy looking syntax here. So what this lets us do is add a new listener that says when the value changes, this method is the listener. And so when the value changes, we have this thing that's observable, we have the old value, and we have the new value. So we get all these properties out, and what we're going to do with them, we're going to send them as an anonymous method here. So this is using this lambda notation, which is crazy. Don't worry too much about it. We'll look at the older syntax later. We're going to apply our color adjust. So we're going to listen for the value to change. We can observe the change. We get the old value, we get the new value out. Only thing we want to do is we want to apply the color adjust. So anytime that slider changes, this method here will run, and the method calls the apply color adjust. We're going to do this with all of our sliders. This sets up to run this method when the value changes. That's all it does. We're going to do that for each of our sliders. So the hue slider, the saturation, the brightness, and the contrast. Saturation, the brightness, and the contrast. Okay, now none of these are changing yet, right? We haven't actually set it up to do anything here. So what we want to do is, let's see, our other, let's see, what do we have? Sorry, I'm making sure we're doing the right thing here. See how well this works, right? Left and right. I think this ought to work for us here. Yeah, let's take our so after we set all those up, we want to take our image view. So we're going to set up this thing called a blend. So a blend is going to add all of these effects together. So we blend, and yeah, we can add our import for blend. So all sorts of really cool stuff JavaFX can do. We're going to set our mode to blend mode.add. So we want to add this effect here to the blend, and then we're going to set a effect as our color adjust effect. So this is the effect we're going to add, and I think that ought to do it here. And then we'll take our image view, and we want to set effect of the blend. I think that does it here. We'll give that a shot and see if that works for us. So we're setting up this blending effect that'll add the color adjustment to our card image view. We're not going to be able to change images yet. I got to go Google that in a minute. We'll see if we can get this blending effect working for us. Should be fun. Okay, so we have some sliders, so this should change. Oh, it's not. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. Okay, so I think the hue and contrast don't do a whole lot when they're black and white, but brightness here starts really messing up the brightness. And saturation, yeah, I think our image here is not super interesting for changing any of those values. But as soon as we start messing with the brightness, our card kind of goes away. Let's see. Set the right values. Ah, no, okay, I have the wrong values. Here's why. So we need values from -1 to 1 for our sliders here. Not 0 to 255. These are not red, green, blue. That's right. So -1 to 1 with ticks being, how about like 0.1. And let's do -1 to 1. Major ticks of 0.25. 0.25. -1 to 1. 0.25 for ticks. Get rid of the minor ticks. -1 to 1. 0.25. Get rid of those ones. All right, let's try that again. See if our little slider works a little better here now. I don't actually need this one. We can close that one out. This is the one we want to run. All right, so now let's see if we can, yeah, not changing a lot here. Okay, so the brightness we can see is slowly starting to fade out on the brightness here as we increase that, right, to 100% bright. And you'll start to lose the image. You notice as it's sliding, we're getting the change here, which is super fun. Oh, here we go. So the saturation, now we can get, that kind of turns it red when we do the saturation on it. Only works when it's kind of dark. And change that. Is this one the contrast? This is this. Is this one contrast? I should have labeled these. And then the hue. Oh yeah, look, that we can change it with the hue. We can kind of change the color here. There we go. This was all of this work here just to make it so we can kind of play with the image and modify it. So there's lots of really cool built-in stuff into Java FX with these color adjusting sort of things here. Which is really cool. So you can take images and you can modify them or kind of adjust some of these properties on top of them and blend them with some new ones. I gotta figure out why our images is not working here. I don't know what to do. Fix this. So I'll have to figure out why our images weren't changing. I think it's something related to using IntelliJ instead of NetBeans. I don't know if it's packaging it up different or what, but we can figure that out later. Spend enough time Googling it, and it wasn't quite working right. So that's okay. We'll figure that one out after. Okay. All right. So I think that's enough fun for now. We can look at a couple other things if we need to later. There's a couple last little bits we might want to try that might be fun. But we'll see what we can do later, okay? Right, so we'll take the rest of today to work on our project. Again, nothing really useful we can do in lab yet, especially if our images aren't working here, but we'll get that figured out. Maybe we can work on one of those later. And we'll pick up databases next week. And we're going to do that as a Java FX project. So we're not getting rid of Java FX from here on out. So it should be fun for us to play with as we go, okay? All right, friends. Let me commit this here. sliders work. We'll say. We'll commit that. Alright folks, sorry that changing images wasn't going. We'll figure out why that wasn't working, and then we can go from there, okay? You folks take care. I will see you next week then, and we can just get working on that project and have some fun with it, okay? Alright folks, I'll see you later.